What are the working principles of a petrol car? Most cars used today work on an internal combustion engine. This engine consists of at least 4 or more pistons in order to convert the chemical energy of petroleum into heat energy, which is then converted further into the mechanical energy used to power the car's movements. A typical piston has a 4-stroke internal combustion cycle. The first step is where the piston is pulled down, creating a vacuum in the valve and pulling air and petroleum fuel down to form a mixture. Next is the compression stroke, where the piston is forced back up the valve, rapidly compressing the air and fuel. This will increase the pressure in the piston, heating up the gas mixture and generating immense amounts of energy. The power stroke converts this energy into mechanical energy, forcing the piston back down and turning the crankshaft. Lastly, the exhaust stroke forces the piston back upwards, expelling any leftover gas through the exhaust valve, emptying the piston and allowing the whole cycle to restart seamlessly. To summarize, chemical energy from the petroleum is converted into heat energy by the compression of the petrol and air mixture. This heat energy is then turned into mechanical energy, powering the car. What are the dangers of using these petrol engines? Petrol is a type of fossil fuel, which is harmful to the environment because, when used in combustion, they produce large amounts of CO2 or carbon dioxide emissions. This creates an invisible layer of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere that stops heat from naturally escaping. This slowly warms up the Earth in what is known as the greenhouse effect, or more commonly, global warming. Petrol engines are especially dangerous, as their CO2 emissions are also far higher than any other type of engine. So, how can we solve this issue of emissions? Through SDGs. The UN Environment Programme, also known as the UNEP, is the leading global environmental authority that sets the agenda around the world. The Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, outlined by the UN, are relevant as the pollution caused by the petrol engines is only one of many technologies the SDGs hope to stop under their goal of climate action. The UNEP works to support the world in its transition to a low-carbon, sustainable future. The solution we have come up with, in accordance to the ideas of the SDGs and climate action, is the transition to electric cars. Electric cars, as their name implies, runs on electricity. This means that they draw from an easily renewable power supply, and through water, wind, and solar power, electric cars are far more eco-friendly compared to their petrol-based contemporaries. Furthermore, their silent engines also cut down on another form of pollution, noise pollution. With these benefits in mind, alongside their cheaper maintenance costs, the electric car is our idea to implement a more sustainable future for humanity.